What's good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I want to break down what's going on with NIO, Tesla, SPY, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down what's going on with their earnings and data coming out for the week, how this could affect the market moving forward, and what you should be watching for as time goes on. But before I begin the devil's information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I am personally not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Weeble link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull and deposit $500, you're guaranteed 20 free stocks. And deposit $25,000 or more, you're guaranteed 75 of them. And the offer ends in just 2 days. Anyways, for NIO, we got this nice gap up and go as we saw NIO announce some very, very big things about them boosting their EV sales, looking at different markets, and continuing to expand into those different markets. So that's some very, very good news for NIO. As the market tried to bounce, that also helped NIO. Not to mention the fact that we're starting to see a big shift in the EV sector and for the Chinese EVs out there. So with all this good news coming out, and with NIO looking as strong as it's looking, this is great news, at least for the share price. Is looking a little bit more bullish as time goes on, and it definitely has more and more potential moving forward. So I want to break down more details about this. I want to break down more information about the overall market, but let me first talk about some data. As a reminder, tomorrow is going to be Monday, April 29th, 2024. At 11:30 a.m., we have the 3-month and 6-month bill auctions coming out. Oh, and at 10:30 a.m., we actually have the Dallas Fed Manufacturing Index. Very minor data, so look for some volatility 1 hour after the market opens, and then 2 hours after market open for more changes. But that's pretty much it. Very, very minor data for earnings for Monday. We just have SoFi, we have Domino's Pizza, and then we also have like Paramount and a few others. Very, very minor earnings for Monday. But do not forget that for Tuesday through Thursday, we tend to see bigger earnings from PayPal coming out to Coca-Cola. We also have Amazon, AMD, and Supermicro coming out. For Wednesday, we have Pfizer and a few others. And then for Thursday, we have Apple, Coinbase, and even more. So we watch to see what happens with those. Looking at NIO, there's some news coming out that the press conference of Formula Student China 2024 was held at a NIO booth. This was on the 18th auto show. That's very, very great news for them because what's very good is they're trying to get a lot of talent all over China and just trying to continue to grow from there, trying to recruit more people and continue to build a very, very good team. So that's very, very good news for them as we're seeing new investments being made. There's also a lot of news coming out about the Chinese EVs from NIO and XPeng who are turning to the mass markets. They've announced that they're turning to the low priced segment of the market with plans to release newly branded cars this year. This is very interesting because Tesla just announced that once again, they're going to be doing the same thing, trying to make more affordable EVs. And with NIO and XPeng kind of following the same things moving forward, I do think that this is going to be very important as well. So, with this being said, and with these big changes, I think that this is very interesting. And I think that moving forward, this is going to lead to a lot more benefits, at least for these companies moving forward. On top of this, NIO is the first mass market car to be a SUV cheaper than that of Tesla Model Y. It's going to be coming out as well, not to mention the fact that XPeng, which is selling its cars at slightly lower prices, is also going to be launching a sub brand. So we're seeing some big news coming out for the Chinese EV sector, targeting different sectors and different markets. And this is going to be, once again, very, very big news for them moving forward. This big shift is what is leading to more buyers to be stepping in. And this is part of why we saw NIO bounce the way it did. Volume was at about 59 million. If we can maintain higher than average volume, close to 50 million plus, that will be bullish. And on top of all of this, you guys could see that uh, we at 58% of our short volume, that's how much of it was short relative to the overall volume. That is still kind of decreasing a little bit. And then finally, we got Macquarie reiterated neutral rating for NIO. And we're starting to see some big shifts right here as the price price ratio is bouncing a little bit. Not to mention the fact that our hourly seasonality is showing 11 o'clock a.m., also at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, not to mention the penultimate trading hour of the day also tends to see more volatility. So we'll have to see how things go. Besides that, things are looking pretty swell for NIO. So what do I see for this moving forward? What do I think is going to pan out? It depends on where we hold. So if we were to lose 4.36, NIO could come down to fill the gap at 4.18. And if we're bullish, you want to see it break past 4 point, just hold above 4.5. If we do so, we're going to easily go up to 4.6 and eventually all the way up to 4.8. In my personal opinion, okay, this looks to me like we have a bullish divergence developing. This bullish divergence has led to this breakout, and then this has led to NIO potentially trying to look more symmetrical. So I wouldn't be surprised if we actually go a little bit higher for Monday. We could kind of dip a little bit, then continue higher. I'll be looking for about 4.61, then even higher levels all the way up to 4.8 very soon. So the chart's looking a bit more bullish. I do anticipate that more upside is very probable, and I see potential in the chart to go up from here. For SPY and the others, I just want to talk about something else that's important about them. They're also showing some potential. NIO is also trying to push higher. We have a potential bullish wedge forming right here. So the odds favor that this is going to push to at least 4.6 or higher, and we'll have to see how things go as well. For SPY, okay, SPY, in my opinion, is looking right over here a little bit more bullish. It held up pretty nicely, but we have this very, very important resistance in this 510 to 509 area. So if we break past 510, I could see SPY attempting to push higher. We could easily go all the way up to the 513 area, then eventually 515 if we break past that. If we lose support and we go down to 505 and lose that, we're going to turn back to bearish and we have this gap to fill. We could easily fall to the lower 500s. So, my personal opinion, I think that SPY has potential to go higher, but it's possible to kind of gap down tomorrow first and then try to continue. And we have to see if we could break 510. If we break that, we could go higher. So I do see potential in this chart to go higher. It still is trying to uptrend slowly. So I'll have to watch confirmation first of that break of 510. But overall, it is showing some strength, it's showing some life. We'll just have to wait and see if we can try to break 510. I think that there's good potential for it to do so, and it could push higher from here. So we'll just have to wait and see if that ends up being the case. For the QQQ, right here, you guys can see the QQQ is looking a bit more bullish overall because, once again, of this 433 resistance, we also have this previous resistance becoming our previous support becoming resistance at 435. So I think that with this uptrend being established, we could push even higher. I think 435 becomes a real possibility. So I could see a little bit more upside potential in the QQQ. For Tesla, we're also looking pretty decent. We're on a nice uptrend right here. We could try to go all the way, excuse me, all the way up to 175. Depends on the news, of course. If we lose 168, we're going to be looking at 165 and eventually lower levels like 162. And to be bullish, you want to see it break and hold above 170. If that breaks, we're easily going up to about 175 plus. So I believe that this could actually push a little bit higher towards 175. Breaking that would push this even higher to 178. So I think that Tesla could try to rebound here, depending on the news, but there could be an attempt to go all the way up here. We might start off a little bit weak, retest 165, and then try to bounce back up into the 170s. So I think a little dip and then a bounce is very probable for the stock, so long as there's no new bad news. On top of that, for Nvda, we're on a bullish breakout. We've broken past our resistance over here at 862, and now we're going to be pushing closer to 900, most likely, in my opinion. So this looks pretty bullish. It looks like you just keep going, and this could be more positive for the QQQ. For Aapl, we're also on an uptrend, especially as we have earnings approaching. So we're going to be watching to see if we can try to hold above 170. There's definitely potential for that, so we'll just give that a little bit more time. And besides that, we'll just have to see how things go for the others out there. Once again, guys, for NIO, I anticipate some more upside. The share price is getting a very, very nice accumulation structure and it's trying to push higher. So I'm going to be looking for a push towards at least 4.61, eventually 4.8. With that being said, I want to thank you all so much for listening. Please have an absolutely incredible rest of the weekend, and I'll see you guys very soon tomorrow. Thanks again, and peace out.